I do. But I think that men, and oh my God, I can't even imagine what the response is going to be after I say what I'm going to say.
Oh, fantastic. I love this.
I almost feel more like men are more accepting of women rising than other women are. I'm sorry. What? Go ahead.
I agree. I agree
with that too, but I think it's because the rules were created for the benefit of men, but I think it's like they have women as jailers.
Yes, they're the jailers, and they're the women bashing. They're the ones. I mean, if women, we're so smart. If we could just get it together and help each other and embrace each other, and we could soar. But the problem is that most women don't want to see other women succeed in any area.
Men play stupid. Women play vindictive.
Correct.
How do you mean
that?
Men don't understand women, so they play stupid. They don't understand how to empower a woman because they don't understand women. Many men, and I don't want to pigeonhole all men, and you may agree with me, Karen, on this, men don't understand how to empower a woman. Many men take that sexual side of it, and it doesn't have to be that way. You can empower a woman just by a statement. Women are vindictive, where they will cut a woman down in a second to shreds before they will even attempt.
Yes.
Before they will even attempt to say good job or well done. Women have no regret in playing that card.
I could not agree with you more. I won't even take it even one step further. I want to personalize it and say, and I'm somebody that has risen above it. But for anybody that would say, I have thousands of people on my Facebook. Probably over 1,000 of them are women. But yet, out of that 1,000 women, how many women do you think really were behind me when I started my own business, my own blog? And they're not. They don't want, when they can't find their voice, everyone sees you, a person out of their own reflection or their own eyes. Do you understand? If they're personally unhappy, then they're going to see something that, is unhappy because it's coming from within. But women just do not. They are vindictive. When they see another, and I'm not saying every woman, I'm just saying a lot of women.
Mm-hmm.
When they see another woman soar and rise, they're not like, oh, way to go. One of our team members are on the rise. They're like, let's knock this person down off of her pedestal.
Absolutely.
Who does she think she is?
Absolutely. In a second. It happened to me, and I lost a job over it. Because I wouldn't play that game. I wouldn't play that deceit, and I wouldn't play that vindictive side. I don't do that. I will play upfront in your face, but I won't play the vindictive side. We were raised as men, by the way. We weren't raised as women. We were raised with a men.
That's a big thing. And
yeah.
I that's a big thing. That's a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. But yet, in saying that, as empowering as my mother was, as strong as she was, and as strong as my sisters all are, it took me 50-plus years to find my voice. Because I didn't have the self-esteem. It goes hand in hand, empowerment and self-esteem. If you have that voice in your head, and that was my fault of my own, I was empowered in business, but I was not empowered in my personal life. If you have that going in your head, those negative voices in your head, men have them too. But women, because women are more emotional than men, we hold ours more to heart. If you have that little voice in your head, that's what you listen to. It's very difficult to get rid of that voice.
people name that voice, you know.
Absolutely.
I read a whole article on, like, if you actually really were to take a step back and to name that voice, and let's say the voice in your head, let's say his name is Fred, and that every single time you would consciously hear something negative, you write it down and you say, oh, that's Fred's opinion, but it's really not mine.
Right.
And that slowly you can get rid of that voice.
Yep, and that's what I did. But it took me a
That's
long
a
time.
really good idea. I like that.
Yeah.
So when you have doubts, it's just because Fred's kind of a goofball. He's always like that. But if you realize Fred's kind of like a party pooper, does Fred really know what he's talking about? Then you go, oh my God, it's Fred again. You can move forward. And I like that. That's really brilliant.
Yes, you're like, God, Fred is in a really bad mood today. Fred is like such a party pooper. He's like negative. He must not have gotten a lot of sleep. But Fred is up, you know. But you write it down, and then you can say, those are Fred's thoughts. Those are not mine.
Yep.
That's beautiful. I love that. We've got about 10 minutes left, and I want to make sure that I'm not hogging this and pointing this towards just whatever pops in my head. Is there anything that you want to talk about, Karen, before we break? Any other projects or anything you have that you want to bring up?
Well, I'm really looking to grow Buddha Barbie. I don't want it to be just a blog. It's not just an Instagram photo. It's not just a quote on Facebook. I'm really looking to make it a brand so that when you see it and you hear it, that it's not a quote that comes to mind or my face that comes to mind, but more of a social value, more of a embracing. Like, I want it to be like, you think of a Buddha Barbie as a strong, powerful, but soft and authentic person, you know, or woman. Somebody that comes from all different ways, all different traits, but that it's an authentic person, somebody who, you know, can do it all, and you know, not easily, not always, no one's perfect, but somebody that, you know, a woman that is strong, that tries to really live up to all, you know, ethical and moral values and embrace whoever she is and be the best that she can be. And if everybody tried to be a Buddha Barbie, I think the world would be a better place. I mean, not everyone's going to be spiritual. Not everyone, you know, everybody is beautiful. So when I say beauty, I mean everybody has a beauty inside, you know, has something beautiful inside. And just bring that out. I want my brand, my blog, whatever, to bring that out in people and, you know, to make the world a better place. And in the first place, it should be, you know, better is coming from within, because beauty comes from within.
Mm-hmm. That's beautiful. And one more time, Karen, let people know, if you don't mind, how they can find you, where your website is, and give them the address.
Sure. It's www.BuddhaBarbie, which is BuddhaBarbie.com, and on my Facebook, which is also Buddha Barbie, and I'm on Instagram, Buddha Barbie, but with 2 E's on the end, and Twitter. And, you know, I provide daily suggestions, advice. I share a lot of content about well-being, fitness, meditation, eating healthy. You know, I'm really trying to embrace a good, healthy, authentic type of life, and you know, in all areas. So for anyone that comes to the site or to Facebook or to Instagram, you know, if I can put a smile on my face and give somebody a suggestion or some advice that makes them feel like they're becoming a better person, then my work was done.
And I am the Buddha Barbie approved psychic too, so that's also a beautiful thing. So that's fantastic.
For sure.
I'm happy about that. I really am happy about that. I want to thank you for taking the time to show up and for also putting up with my rather bizarre intro. And you know, on a more general level, I want to thank you for just being my pal. I appreciate that. But I applaud you for what you're doing. I see what you're doing, and I have a sense of where you're headed. And I think it's this is a good vehicle for you to keep moving forward with this, to keep adding extra layers to this. And for again, and we'll talk about this with Shannon too in the second hour. Women, I personally want to see a world in which women can be powerful and successful and not have to be a man in order to do it. That they can function whatever comes out of them, whatever that is. That they don't have to downplay their looks in order to be successful in business. They don't have to downplay their intellect to be successful in romance. That they can be fully who they are, and that's okay, and that's not only okay, but that's encouraged. I don't think it's encouraged right now, and that's in one sense why you and I have the jobs that we have, right? Because there's not that encouragement. Zita, anything you want to throw in that we haven't addressed?
Well, I think
while we have Karen.
Yeah, I just think, and I think Karen will agree with this because I think we have the same point of view in a lot of things. I think it's important that women surround themselves with powerful women, whether it be a mentor or a friend or someone to speak to. If your friends aren't empowering you, and empowering you doesn't necessarily mean they always support you in everything you do. Somebody who empowers you also is honest with you. Surround yourself with those kind of women, and those kind
Agreed.
of women will absolutely build you up and get you to the next level.
And you know what? If you aren't around those new women or those women, find new friends.
Right.
Because water usually does find its own level.
Absolutely.
So.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back in a few minutes here on the Hazy Radio Network on Rock'n'Roll Psychic Radio. Our guest the first hour, the Buddha Barbie herself, Karen Kat Sherman. Karen, thank you. I hope you had fun.
Andy, thank you. Oh, Andy, thank you so much for having me. I had such a good time, and I loved talking with you guys, and this was just great. I really thank you. I'm really appreciative of being here. Thank you. You're a wonderful host.
Oh, thank you. It was a pleasure to have you. So we will be back in just a few minutes. Again, our guest, second hour, theme Empowering Women with Shannon.Million. And don't go anywhere. We'll see you in just a few minutes.
Watch the news. Have you ever considered that you're not getting the whole story? This is Dr. Truth.
And this is Dr. Drake. Tune in to the radio show Earth, Saturday nights, 10 to midnight.
We'll be exposing what the elites are doing all over the world.
We don't want you to believe us. Get a pen out and check us out.
It's the radio show accused of telling the truth. Earth.
The most controversial planet in the solar system. Saturday nights, 10 to midnight, Eastern Time, on the Hazy Radio Network.
Hey, Hazy Radio listeners. Do you like animated movies and TV shows? Do you ever wonder just what goes into making the magic that appears on your screen? Join Doug Engler and Brandon Aarons every Sunday night for Animazing Radio. Animazing will feature everything in the animation arena, from voice actors and actresses to illustrators, producers, and more. Only on Animazing Radio will you find the very best in animation from around the world. Catch Animazing Radio every Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, only on the Hazy Radio Network.
Son of a...
Hey, Doug. Doug, what are you doing?
Oh, hey, Scott. I'm getting ready for Periscope Uncensored on Friday nights.
By expanding your vocabulary.
Well, it is uncensored.
Well, Doug, the Uncensored and Periscope Uncensored is Clarissa Vasquez and getting down to brass tacks with all aspects of the paranormal. It's not what you'd call a traditional radio program. There's no fluff on their show.
So no off-color commentary?
Well, I didn't say that.
Awesome. Oh,
Doug?
I just hit my head.
Oh, boy. I'll get you a nice pack. Catch Periscope Uncensored Friday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern, only on the Hazy Radio Network.
This weekend, unplug. Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. To find the forest nearest you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
We know you're out there. We know you can hear us. We're going to show you a place where the rules of this world don't always apply. A place where the common conception known as reality doesn't exist. We will lead you over the bridge, crossing the void you may fear to tread across.